With this video, I want to give you guys 5 money goals to set between April 1st and June 31st. This is the second quarter of the year, and it's important to have goals set because if you don't have goals set, then you don't have nothing to work toward. And we always want to do better and be better with our money. It's been a minute for my YouTube channel, so if you guys are seeing this and you are subscribed, I appreciate you guys staying subscribed through all of this. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you hear, you like the information and the value that I'm giving, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into the video. So the first thing we want to do, if you haven't already, is build your immediate fund. Now, a lot of you have heard of an emergency fund. This is like a minor emergency fund. It's not necessarily an emergency, but it's immediate issues that need immediate attention. And so what we want to do with this account is have a minimum of $1,500, maximum of $2,500. These are for things like you may have a flat on your car, or you may need some new tires. Your appliances in your house or your apartment may go out, and it may cost you $600 that you're not expecting to pay. But we have that money set aside because that is an immediate need. If your refrigerator goes out and you have groceries in your refrigerator, you need to take care of that immediately, because not only is your refrigerator out, your groceries are going bad, so you're losing money. You know, your groceries are going to have to go buy new groceries. So it's things like that you want to be prepared for, because it's never if anything happened. It's always when something happens. For example, I was on the highway behind a big heavy duty truck. A rock fell off the truck, bounced on the ground, and cracked my windshield. Went through the insurance. They couldn't cover it due to my deductible. Went to all the glass repair auto shops, and they were charging me $800. For some people, that $800 could be them having to miss the rent, on their next rent payment, or, any kind of bill that they may have. But because I had an immediate fund of $2,500, I was able to pull that $800 from that, get that fixed, in no time. And then I was able to build that immediate fund right back up to $2,500. I would encourage people to do this before building an emergency fund. But that brings us to number 2. After you've built your immediate fund, that's when you want to start contributing into your emergency fund. Now, the rule of thumb is to have 3 months worth of your expenses as an emergency fund. So if your expenses total to $1,500 a month, you want to do 1,500 times 3 and have that in the emergency fund as savings. But then you can go out as far as the 6 months, 12 months, however, you feel like you need to have set aside for an emergency. Your emergency fund, those are for the major emergencies, things that may cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. And so we want to make sure we prepare for that as well. And this is nothing that you have to have done within a month, within 3 months. But I always encourage people to save 10% of their income. So whatever you get per paycheck, times that by 10%, and whatever that amount is, just slowly and consistently contribute to that. Because I tell people a lot of times that 10% is small enough to not miss, but it's big enough to see results. And if you just stay disciplined and stay consistent with that, you can build your emergency fund within no time. Now, I don't want to say no time, literally. It may take some time, but you'll see it gradually building and building. And a lot of times that 10% will be money that you probably would have wasted or put towards something that wasn't any value or benefit to you in the first place. The third thing we want to do is start paying down debt. My favorite method is a snowball method. That's where you take the smallest debt amount and start aggressively paying that one down. And once that's paid off, you take whatever that minimum monthly payment was plus whatever you were adding to that in addition, and roll that over into the next amount or to the next debt. So for example, if your smallest debt was $1,000 and you were paying $80 on it for the minimum monthly payment, and then you added another $20 to make it $100 every single month, then once that is paid off, you're going to take that $100 plus whatever that next minimum monthly payment was for the next smallest debt. And so if that was $70, then you will roll that $100 into that $70, and now you'll be paying $170 on that debt. And then once you're done with that, you'll take that $170 plus whatever you were paying for the next thing, and you just keep snowballing it, and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that will cause you or help you to pay down your debts a lot faster, in my opinion. And even if it's not faster versus the avalanche method, however you want to pronounce it, you see results a lot quicker. And what that does to you, it sparks something in your brain. It likes your brains to say, oh, dang, I paid that off. And it just encourages you and keeps you motivated to want to keep going and paying off the rest. The fourth thing we want to do is get educated on money. A lot of people reach out to me because I do a lot of financial content, mainly on TikTok, but Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube as well. But one thing that I did when I started really learning about money and being financially literate was I educated myself. I've read tens of books about finances. And one of the keys I'll give to you guys about books on finances, a lot of the knowledge that I've applied and what's helped me become better, be better, and do better with money, it didn't come from the financial books. I mean, of course, I obtained the knowledge and I executed on that knowledge. But one thing I want to make and emphasize to you guys is that you can read all the books about finances, but it starts with you. You have to become better as a person. So one thing I would encourage you guys to do is start reading self-development books. Learn how to change your habits. Learn how to change your mindsets, because that will then correlate to your financial habits, and you will start to become better and do better with your money once you become better as a person. But if you need any recommendations, I do have a link in my bio for a list of books, both financial and self-development, that you can all learn from and apply and hopefully get some success from it. Fifth thing you want to do is start setting sinking funds for the summer. So we all know summer comes around the same time every year. That's when a lot of people start taking vacations, they start taking trips, or it's just a lot more things to do activity-wise, event-wise, and we not prepared for it. So we go and we make these impulsive purchases, whether it's parties, whether it's staycations. I mean, the list goes on and on. So what sinking funds are is just you taking a little bit of money from your paycheck or whatever income that you receive and putting $20 away here and there. So if we're 3 months in from summer, from the time of this video, just start putting $20 every time you get paid. And I promise you, a lot of people, we have this negative misconception about saving small money. We look at $20 as like, what am I going to do with $20? $20 add up. It turned to 40, then 60, then 80, then 100. And then you keep doing that. And if you want to do more, do more. But I'm saying one thing we want to do is just make sure that we aren't going into debt when it comes to having fun, because we shouldn't have to be looking at our bank account while we're in line paying to get into an event. We shouldn't go and enjoy ourselves and then regret enjoying ourselves because we had to pay for everything on a credit card and we know we spent more money than we had in our own bank account, and putting ourselves in that hole financially and putting that burden on ourselves financially. So go ahead and start setting those sinking funds away. Learn or figure out how much that you can afford to put away. So when summer comes, you have $1,000 just for that. And if you want to do some stupid stuff with it or just blow it, that's what that money is for. Every single dollar needs a job. So it's nothing wrong with that. And you can have guilt-free fun. You can go and spend whatever you want to on the food, on the drinks, or whatever it is that you enjoy without having to regret it or feel bad for it. And you can do this not only for summer, but this is for vacations. This is for Christmas. I start planning for Christmas in August. Start putting $20, $50 away in August to prepare for Christmas. So we already have a set amount of what we're going to spend for Christmas. And that way nobody's left out and we're not making a whole bunch of impulsive spending. So there was 5 money goals I have set for you guys that I think will be very beneficial to everybody listening. If you guys have any other goals that you want to recommend, please put them down below in the comments. And these can be goals for every single quarter. This is just something I wanted to do to set the tone for the second quarter, because I like to look at the year like I'm real big into sports. I like football. I like basketball. And you may have played bad in the first quarter, but you can come back in the second quarter and you can make adjustments. You can see that, okay, in the first 3 months of the year, I did X, Y, and Z. How can I be better? How can I adjust to put myself in a better position? So that's all it is. We're going to reset. We're going to figure some things out. We're going to strategize, and we're going to plan accordingly so that this quarter is a lot better. And then we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the year. But the goal is to have goals. If you don't have any goals, you have nothing to work towards. And that's why a lot of people start to feel stagnant. They start to feel stuck. They don't know what to work towards because they didn't set anything. They didn't write it down. They didn't make it plain. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was very valuable to you. Again, this is my first time back in probably 2 or 3 years on YouTube. So, as I continue to get more consistent with it, we'll be a lot better. And I got a ton of ideas for you guys. So again, if you subscribe to the channel still from the previous years, I appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel, if you enjoy this type of content, this was valuable and beneficial to you, please like, comment, and subscribe.